Good morning. Last time we talked about production and cost, and today we would like to know the profit maximizing point for in case of different markets. Let's start with describing the different types of markets. And then today we are going to focus on only one of them, which is perfect competition. So we would like to determine the profit maximizing point um, and the shutdown point in case of perfect competition. So what are the different types of markets? There are four main different types. Number one, perfect competition. Number two, monopolistic competition. Number three, oligopoly. And finally, number four, monopoly. In case of monopoly, there is only one seller in the market. He is price maker. While in case of oligopoly, there are few number of suppliers, two or three. They can be competitors for each other or formulate a cartel and act like one firm with different names. Okay, so the pricing strategy in this case differ based on whether they are going to formulate a cartel or they are going to compete with each other. Monopolistic competition means that there are large number of sellers and buyers. Products are um products can be differentiated. Sellers have a limited control or some control over prices. What about perfect competition? Perfect competition means there are a large number of sellers and buyers. No restrictions to enter or exit the market. No one firm has more advantage than another. Free availability of information. Products are identical. And finally, sellers and buyers are price takers. Today we are going to focus on perfect competition or perfect competitive market. What's meant by price taker in case of perfect competition? Price taker means that there is no single firm can affect the price. There is no single consumer can affect the price. So the price is given for each one of them. The output of each one of them is perfect substitute for another. So in this case, the demand curve is going to be perfectly elastic. Output is a perfect substitute for another. The main objective of any producer is to maximize economic profit. Profit is calculated as total revenue minus total cost. And total revenue is calculated as price multiplied by quantity. Just like what we did in cost and production, as we said in cost and production that there is a marginal and an average. So here with respect to total revenue, there is a marginal revenue and an average revenue as well. Total revenue, average revenue is calculated as total revenue divided by the quantity, and marginal revenue is calculated as a change in total revenue due to change in quantity by 1 unit. Total revenue is positively sloped starting from the origin, as if you are not going to sell any number of units, so you are going to gain 0. So this is total revenue, somehow like 45-degree line. This is total revenue curve. While with respect to marginal revenue, it is parallel to x-axis. This is the quantity and this is marginal revenue. So it's constant, as marginal revenue in this case is going to be equivalent to the price of the commodity. So marginal revenue in case of perfect competition is equivalent to price. As we said that the main objective of any firm or any producer is to maximize economic profit, given certain constraints or restrictions. So the firm must decide in order to achieve its objective. Number one, how to produce at a minimum cost. Number two, what quantity to produce. Number three, whether to enter or exit the market. So let's start with output decision. The perfectly competitive firm is going to choose the output that maximizes the economic profit. One way is to use total values in order to determine the optimal or the efficient amount of output, total revenue and total cost curves. So if you are going to draw this is quantity, total revenue and total cost. Your economic profit or loss. And the quantity of the product. As we said that this is total revenue. Cost function is going to start from any point upper than 0 or the origin. And it is the inverse or the mirror image of the production function. As we can use that figure number 2 shows the difference between total revenue and total cost, which is the economic profit. As we can see that at part A, total cost is greater than total revenue. So in this case, economic profit is negative. Till we reach the point B. At this point, total revenue equals total costs, so economic profit is 0. After this point, total revenue is greater than total cost during area C, so there is a positive economic profits. And now again at point D, total revenue equal total cost, so economic profit is 0. And finally at point E, there is an economic loss as total revenue total cost exceeds total revenue. So this is economic profits. So this is economic loss. Economic profit. And economic loss once again. So where is the point at which the quantity at which the profit is going to be maximized? The highest difference between total revenue and total cost is the point at which profit is going to be maximized. Say for example 9. So the quantity 9 is the quantity that maximizes the economic profit of the firm. So this is the point of maximum profit or the highest difference between total revenue and total cost. At a lower level of output, say at part A, level of output is low. So this means that there is an economic loss as the firm can't cover its fixed costs. While at an intermediate level of production, the firm makes an economic profit as it can cover the fixed cost. While returning back to the higher level of production, the firm incurs an economic loss as the firm faces steeply rising costs because of diminishing returns. So during the third part, which is point E, for example, there is an economic loss as the firm is passing through the phase of diminishing returns to scale. So this is the total analysis, or studying the profit maximization from a total point of view. Now we would like to take it from the marginal point of view, or the marginal analysis. The firm can use the marginal analysis in order to determine the profit maximizing output. Because marginal revenue is constant, marginal cost is increasing as output increase. Profit maximizing is going to be determined by producing the output at which marginal revenue equal marginal cost. So based on marginal analysis, the profit maximizing condition is that marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So this can be illustrated graphical as this is quantity, marginals, marginal revenue and marginal cost. Marginal revenue, as we said, that marginal revenue in case of perfect competition is constant. So this is marginal revenue. And this is the marginal cost curve. The point of intersection of marginal revenue and marginal cost is the profit maximizing point. So this is the quantity that should be produced in order to maximize profit. If marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost, this means that economic profit can increase if we increase output or increase production. If marginal revenue equal marginal cost, economic profit decreases if output it changes, either positive or negative, either increase or decrease. This is the end of our lecture today, and next week we are going to talk about the shutdown point. Thank you. See you next week.